Welcome to Chellington 17, episode 18, Forestry, with me, Mr. Searly P. Back at the store, what a surprise. A couple of things I want to talk about before I start the episode proper. A couple of new mods that came out today from, I think it's Toxic Om, I think it is. I will put the name in the description. But there's a new Frontloader bucket, BioBelt Frontloader bucket. It's a mod and it's 2,460 litre capacity. The other one was only 1,800 and something, 1,860. So it's a bigger bucket for the Frontloader. So I'm going to buy one of those. I'm going to leave the main colour black. And by the same modder, and I think it's under wheel loaders, there's a new Leased universal lightweight bucket. This thing holds 11,500 litres. That's a big bucket. Now I haven't bought a bucket yet for the telehandler. It does say down there universal lightweight bucket for wheel loader and telehandler. So again, I'm going to leave it black. So I've now got one each of those, which are going to need collecting, obviously. But for a lot of the jobs I'm going to be doing, that is a massive bucket. That's huge. And obviously that one's bigger with a tyre track through it, which is interesting. Anyway, those all need collecting. So yes, what else has happened since the last episode? Oh, super cool. I mean, I think it's super cool, but then that's just me. On my video I did a few videos back, the first look at Colborough Park Farm. Don't know if any of you have had a look at it. If you have, fantastic. If you haven't, check it out. I was left a comment by Bullet Bill, the map's creator. Said he enjoyed the video tour, and it was an excellent job. That I'm absolutely stoked. Oh, that is just, you know, that's the guy that made the map, has commented on my map tour and said he liked it. So that's just brilliant. If you know, people leave comments all the time, and I love the fact that people are enjoying my videos. But the map's creator to say they've enjoyed your video, that's, you know, that's brilliant. I'm so, you know, so impressed with that. But anyway, after that little bit of self-gratification, today's episode is going to be all about forestry. Now, some people love it, some people hate it. Oddly enough, the forestry episodes tend to get more likes and more views. Don't ask me why, they just do. So, into the forest. For those of you who saw my episode when I changed over to version 2, this is the bit on the map marked with a big word that says forest. The bit that I missed on the map that says forest. Anyway, I've bought over one of the Fliegl balls. I have leased the JENZ BA 725 woodchipper. I've also leased the Fliegl Timber Runner, and I've leased the Fliegl Dolly. I've leased them both with wide tyres just because it looks cool, and I'm going to be kind of, I'm off-road, aren't I? I've also got my telehandler, and like I said before, I've got the manure fork. Not conventional in any way, shape or form, but I prefer using this when I'm doing logging and timber. So I'm going to be doing some logging, and we'll go off to the Bedfordshire Sawmill. The only downside, I've said this before, with this trailer, is it sits too high off the floor. So that when you actually get to your destination, normally when you drive into the timber sell points, it doesn't register that you've got any logs on there. So you have to get them out of this into the sell point. Now, in previous, on FS15, I think, I used a wheel loader, and every time I would knock over the trailer and pull it back up again. It's a bit unseemly for the gentleman logger. But I don't know. You know, short of spending another half an hour unloading it, there's got to be an easier way. But anyway, We'll see when we get there. Also, there's the mill pond, so we'll have a go at chucking some stuff in the mill pond, see how that works. And I want to use the wood chipper as well, and we'll sell some wood chips. All of that hopefully crammed into this episode. That's the plan. So the question is where to begin. What I will do, if you haven't used this or seen it, the JENZ BA 725 gets treated like a vehicle which you can enter and start the engine. It does travel at, I think, 1 or 3 miles an hour or something like that, so you can actually drive it forwards and backwards, although you can't turn it, I don't think, as I recall. So pipe out the back, and the pipe, as I recall, I thought it was, that's weird. I could have sworn the pipe was adjustable. Let's do the wood crusher first. Unfold the wood crusher. That extends the pipe on that. Oh, there we go. So now that's extended. You can actually adjust the height of this depending on the trailer or what you're unloading into. So what I'll do is back that right up now to the trailer. So that'll be ready to unload into the trailer when it's up and running. To turn it on, turn on wood crusher. And you can jump out and leave that running. And you can load that by using, when you get onto the bigger vehicles, the forestry equipment, the Scorpion King, you can cut directly onto it. You can use the wheel loaders, telehandlers. You can cut small chunks up, throw it in by hand. However you want to do it is entirely up to you. So it does also have a capacity of, turn off, 5,000 litres. So what will happen is it will keep chugging away, and if you don't realise that your trailer's full, once the trailer's full, the conveyor belt will stop running and this will store 5,000 litres in it. So then what will happen is then when you come back and you back a trailer up, it will unload the 5,000 into your trailer, then you're ready to go again. So that's quite a handy feature. It kind of gives you a bit of a fail-safe, so you're not wasting timber if you don't realise straight away. But anyway, that's open, ready to go. So when I've got some wood chips, we're good to go. So I suppose the first thing to do then, I got the steel. So get our chainsaw ready to use. Now turn it, these are quite big trees. I'm going to crouch as well. Now on the PlayStation controller, I said this before, this gets a little bit complicated and fiddly with the controls. Left one, left shoulder button, and then your mushroom pad controller joystick moves it like so. It is running. Now to crouch, triangle, but then to actually operate the hand tool you need circle. So you kind of, I put my top of my thumb on triangle and then just rock the rest of my thumb onto circle, so it's all kind of one operation. It should fall to the left, he says. There we go. There are all sorts of fancy ways of cutting timber with little wedges and all sorts of things, but on this game if you just cut directly across, whichever way you're cutting, so if I turn this, if I cut that direction, it's going to fall away from you to the left. Just makes it easier for you to work out where it's going to go, and then we'll just strip all this off. Sometimes you miss a bit, and when you lift it up you'll find it and just trim it off. It's entirely how you want to do it. Now again, there's a couple of ways of doing this. If you go into forestry equipment, if you build up to getting the Sampo Rosenliu, which will do the chopping for you and trimming all the rest of it, but that only does smaller size trees. Or if you get up to the Ponce Scorpion King and it does the bigger ones, you can you can select the cut length and all the rest of it. You can chop them up to any size you want. The other way of doing on here, and it gets a little bit fiddly and it can be a little bit cumbersome, but what I will do is put that away and jump into this. Like I say, this can get a little bit hairy at times, so we'll see how we get on. Trying to find the centre of gravity is the best thing you can do, the kind of balance point. Normally one of these really big ones is about a third, so you leave sort of 2/3 one end. It's not always perfect. Now the reason I like to use this, and I've mentioned it before if you haven't seen it before, is that the kind of splines at the front are a lot narrower. And it also, because it's quite wide, it gives you a kind of more stable platform, I found, doing this before. So hopefully, it says hopefully, when I lift that, that should be fairly balanced. It's not perfect, but it's okay. But the width of the manure fork gives you a little bit more stability and control over it. That's just how I do it. Like I say, you do it any way you want, it's up to you. So here's the other thing you can do, is if you offer it up to the trailer first, like so, and then the other downside to doing it this way is that it becomes very unstable afterwards. So what you can do, lift it up. If you extend it too far, so if I put the boom out now, it can have a... Great, I managed to undo that as well. What an idiot. So you just have to be careful that when you extend the boom out, you don't open the, because they're all on the same sort of control arm joystick. Now you can place it into the trailer first, like so. If I jump out now, and cut length, you're kind of almost cutting it to fit the trailer. The other thing you can do is just fell them, because these are all pretty much the same kind of height. Fell them, cut them in half, and then just load them up in halves. That's kind of the other way. It's an easier way of doing it. Put that away. So what I will do, be very, very careful I don't lose this off here. Another thing you want to try to do as well is alternate the way you stack. So when you stack them, one way thick to thin, the other way thin to thick, and it kind of balances the trailer out. That works quite well. Now, and in we go. That's second log in. Now, because they're not right up against the back of the trailer, nothing you can do as well if you really, really want to. If, like me, you're a little bit OCD, it does that. You've got the strapping system, so you can strap them down, which is also fine. I have found when I did it on Goldcrest Valley, if you overload this trailer, they have a tendency to really wobble around, and they kind of wriggle themselves out. So that's kind of pushed now, that's right into the back of the trailer. So anyway, that's kind of cutting them and loading a couple on. The rest I will carry on loading this up until we've got a full-ish trailer. I might cut backwards and forwards between me doing it, and also a bit of wood chipping. So I will continue for a little bit. It's a froggy day. Okay, this is the last load I'm putting in. I don't want to overload this trailer, and it's getting clearly near that limit. I do want these over this side, so... give that a nudge. And we'll jump out. Okay, so let's strap this. Okay, so this isn't going anywhere, hopefully. That load's strapped down. There's a fair bit on there. Tyres are looking a little bit squashed into the ground. That one, yeah, that's annoying me. Now what I have been doing, a few of the offcuts while I've been doing this, he says, making an absolute mess of that. Some of the offcuts I have been throwing into here already, but not missing like that, because quite frankly that was just embarrassing. There we go. So have a look in here now. There's a few offcuts. So I'm going to do a bit of wood chipping. There's a few different ways of doing this. So I'm just going to jump into the wood chipper. And we are going to start the engine. And turn on the wood crusher. Now some of these will flick up like that. The smaller ones tend to, unless you get the angle just right. There you go, the wood chips are going up and into the trailer. Now, because of the length of this I will talk up a little bit. The length of the conveyor makes this a lot easier. On the original one, on FS15, the JENZ HEM583Z had a really short conveyor belt and logs used to drop off of it. It was terrible. So you can cut longer ones and drop them onto here and it will go in no problem at all. You can throw your offcuts in here. For example, just grab that, pick it up. There we go. Or I can cut some longer lengths. I might need the I think don't want to do these too long, otherwise they do have a tendency to fall out. But like I say, if you get the Scorpion King and you set the cut length, you can actually cut directly into. That's going to roll right up to the thing, isn't it? Helpful. Yeah, you can set the cut length, which can make life a lot easier. Just go to that. And what I was doing to make life a lot way easier was setting the cut length to 1 metre and literally just chopping off 1 metre chunks, and it would just drop in one at a time, no problem at all. So what I will do is jump in here. And hopefully this will work. Now sometimes it doesn't catch straight away, so what you can do, get the height just right. Give it a bit of a nudge. And away it goes. Now, the interesting thing, not say interesting, there's lots of interesting things. That wood chipper, I assume will need refuelling at some point because it does have a fuel capacity. That said, I used it a lot on 15. It never ran out of fuel. So, yeah, who knows. It will take them in with the branches still on. It's just hard to see where they're going at that point. So, let's get this one as well. Just a bit of a nudge. He says missing completely. There we go. So we'll do longer pieces. if I jump into the tractor, it will tell me what's in there. Oil now, 12,000 litres, 13,000 litres. The wood chips fill up relatively quickly. Now, nothing you can do. You can do the small bits, absolutely. When you get into these thicker bits, and it is a case of gauging roughly. Sometimes they're too heavy. There you go. So it doesn't have to be the twig size things. You can put logs in, as long as you can lift them. There we go. And so on. Let's see if you can find the log again. So I'm going to keep on doing this, feeding that wood chipper until I've got a full load. And it'll be a combination of hand-fed hand-fed and using the telehandler. So I will carry on doing that until I've got a full load. It won't take too long. It only takes 32,000 litres, or you can throw it if you really want to. See you in a bit. Now what you can do sometimes, if you really want to, is feed an entire log in. So I'll plonk it on the end, and sometimes it just needs a little bit of help feeding it. So you just drive forward ever so slightly, so it feeds it, and it will take it away from you when it's ready to. Which is not doing quite yet, but it will do. Now if you notice, the conveyor belt isn't running. If I push more in, the conveyor belt's not running, which tells me that my trailer is full and everything that's going in here now is going into the wood chipper. It's storing it. It will take 5,000 litres because nothing's going up that conveyor belt now. Here we go. So that's taking that in, it's wood chipping it, but the conveyor belt's not running, which means that's now storing all those wood chips in here. It says that will take 5,000. This should now say 32,000 litres. So the trailer's full, which is good news. So the next job then, now that's done, well, firstly would be to turn off the wood chipper. That would be a good start. Is to take the timber and the wood chips to the Bedfordshire Sawmill, which is along the main road. If we come out of here, turn left, follow the road round, out between field 17 and field 12. So I'm going to do the wood chips first. Don't know why. Just am. Beacons on, and off we go. Just going to do a very, very quick stop off just while I'm here. Just sell the eggs. What was that? £399 for eggs. That's actually not too bad. So here we are, Bedfordshire Sawmill. Wood chip sell point is round the back. Beacons off. You don't get a huge amount for them, but you do them enough quantity, you can. Okay. How much am I going to make? 13,000. Whoa, that's way more. That's way more than you got on Goldcrest Valley for wood chips. I'm going to check the prices. Wood chips are selling for, wow, 407. I think the highest they ever went was 247 on Goldcrest Valley. So £407. And I wonder, you know what? Wood chipping might be a fairly lucrative little sideline. Okay, right. This will go back only because there's about probably less than 5,000 litres, but there's some still stored in the wood chipper. So what I will do, I'll back the trailer up to the conveyor belt, and you'll see that whatever was stored in the wood chipper will unload. Just need to get that just right, which it isn't. It will start operating. There we go. So whatever was stored in there will now unload into the trailer. It's not too bad. So it might well be a full 5,000. There we go, 5,000. There could have been more, but it will only hold 5,000. So that's 5,000 litres of wood chips I can just push to one side. And I will go and sell those in a bit. Next job though, actually turn that engine off, go and jump in the Deutz. Whoa, that's gone laggy. Whoa, that does not like that at all. Okay, I saved the game, turned it off, turned it back on again, and that's all stopped. God, that was weird. Beacons on. Never experienced that before. Now this is where you'll see what I mean. If I drive across the sell point, it doesn't register anything, or it doesn't normally, because the trailer's too high. What you need is some tip function on this trailer. Oh, no, that's interesting. I didn't know you had that on there. If I press right one, it then says at the bottom, unfasten tension belts with R3. So if I do that now, you can do them all in one go without having to go along and do them. And you can do the same thing to fasten them. Well, there you go. I never knew that was there. Right, so what I might do then is, and this is going to prove slightly difficult, is try and put them... Oh. Just being close to there, and you get paid way more for timber on here than you did on Goldcrest Valley as well. So actually, forestry might not be a bad bet. You can make a bit of money on that. My money has jumped up considerably. Oh, I didn't even look to see what it was before. 250 something maybe. So I've made about 20 grand off that, I think. Yeah, anyway. Oh, there you go then. That's that's timber. That's the lumber sold. I'm going to take this back to the forest. Because I've got them leased for 24 hours, I might well do some more. I might do some more forestry off screen, I don't know. But that worked really well. I am back at the Bedfordshire Sawmill. The price of wood chips has gone up even more. It's at 427. So I'm going to get rid of this last little bit and make a bit of money. And that is the end of the episode today. Hope you've enjoyed it. In a nutshell, that was forestry. It can be done in all different ways with all different sorts of machinery. With bigger, more expensive machinery comes speed and more fun, and more alternatives for different tree lengths and all that kind of stuff. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share the video, please be my guest. But as usual, whatever you should choose to do, thanks for watching.